Gina, I'm a junior and my major is international relations.
Great.
Alright, well, I'm Kelsey. I'm a junior transfer, so it's my first year here, and I'm in the CRD program, undergrad.
And my name's Sam, and I'm a third-year transfer as well, and I'm a sociology major, undergrad.
My name's Eric Berber. I'm an undergrad, undeclared right now.
My name is Johnny, and I'm an undergrad with the Community and Regional Development Program.
Hi, my name is Rich, and I'm a fourth-year senior, and I'm graduating this spring. My major is pharmaceutical chemistry.
My name is Aisha Lott. I am a fourth-year MPB major.
MPB.
Oh, neurobiology, physiology, and behavior.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Education shouldn't be that expensive. It should be accessible to all.
Personally, the way I see it is I understand that the economy is going to flux and it's going to change. And I know that if the school came out and they told me, and this is just my personal perspective, and the way I see it, is they say, okay, we're going to raise tuition, but at the same time, we're going to cut professors and programs, and we're going to have TAs predominantly teaching these classes, and we're going to overcrowd your rooms. That doesn't make sense to me. If you raise fee hikes, but in order to keep these programs and to keep these professors, then I get it. And okay, fine. You can sell me on that. But you can't tell me I'm going to pay more for less. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's like paying $3 for a cheeseburger and then being forced to pay $7 for a hot dog. You know, it's like you pay more and more and more, and the quality is going lower and lower and lower and lower. You know, so and you don't see it. You know? I don't see how much more. Like they're asking for more money of me, but where's that money going to, and how am I seeing that? You know, I see it by not having the options of classes that I did, or not having the same programs that are assisting me in that. So I don't know. Fee hikes, I don't like them.
I come from a large family, a working class family, and I have to work and put money towards my tuition, so yes, it does affect me.
Okay.
Do you remember, there was one YouTube video of this this person who was an engineer, and he had to work like 19 or 20 hours a week part-time just because of the tuition hikes. Are you familiar with the "Oh, my fees are hella high" that slogan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So yeah, it does directly affect not just him, but like a wide range of ethnicities, right? It's just probably perhaps the Asians or the white people, I guess, that are, I guess, more likely to have that like higher class status, and it depends on a lot of factors, of course, right?
No.
And I'm not trying to be stereotypical. Of course, I'm being stereotypical, but I'm not trying to be racist. That's a difference. But yeah, it does, and I know people that that have to get loans and they have to work just to stay here.
Students that are coming from lower socioeconomic statuses. Personally, I've been pretty blessed in being able to pay for my tuition, but some people coming from different backgrounds and different instances in life don't have those options, and so avoiding tuition increases would really benefit them, and less pressure on their family. And the price of living these days is getting very high, especially in California, so it would just be good not to increase.
Well, like you said, I've been pretty blessed. My parents have done well for themselves, so they're able to pay fully for my education. But on a personal note, my dad just lost his job in December, so I am, looking at, I'm going to have to tighten up my spending and maybe look into student loans. So I'm definitely more aware of the increases and, getting a job while also, doing everything else in school. I know like a lot of other people that might be in my future too, so yeah.
It's affecting a lot of students. Some of my friends from freshman year that I kind of lost touch with and lived in the dorms with them, they had to drop out of school because they couldn't afford it anymore, and it was it was sad to see them go, and they're just trying to find jobs so they can come back, so it sort of affects me directly, so I kind of get involved, but not to the extent that I probably should, and I know that, but it was sad to see them go, and it just kind of sucked.
Yeah.
There is a way that I could help. I'd like to know about it.
Okay, so you feel like you do not know about current ways to participate.
Yeah, I feel like I hear about things, but I haven't, to have set, this is going to help us stop the increases.
Okay.
Come here, then I would like to join.
Great.
Yes, it does affect me.
Okay.
I know that, when they were asking students to go to the Regents meetings, I would like to have gone, but class is kind of primary to me, and I just really didn't want to skip it. So, I mean, if it fits my schedule and, if it's possible for me to do these things, then yeah, I would definitely take part.
I think personally, just by being here and having conversations with people, we came here, we set up a table, and we've already had 4 people, including a police officer, come by and speak to us about what's going on, and that gets students aware. I think getting students aware is the #1 issue here. I'm personally not going to be able to stop fee hikes. I can't do it alone. You need people. You need ideas. You need this organization, like I was saying earlier. And like I said, I personally can't just do that by myself. So by sitting here and having these conversations and doing these interviews and just talking to random people who are somewhat interested, we're getting these thoughts in their heads. We're saying, they're stopping and thinking, why am I paying so much money for this? I never thought about it before. I just always wrote my check and just keep moving. To get people to stop and think for a few minutes is doing the world of great, I think.
I think my participation and my chosen non-participation within the school's bureaucratic process is resembling, I guess, my outlook on my life in general. And I don't think that getting this degree is going to make me that much closer to getting a job, because unemployment is the state of what it is, and the economic system is the way it is. And I think the school system is a part of that. It's all connected together. So the education that I'm getting out here by having these conversations with people, and the education that I'm doing outside of my school, is to improve my quality of life, to focusly direct that on that. And I want to say that my participation here and talking to people is gonna create this greater momentum than it is trying to manipulate the system within itself.
Essentially, because of economic status, I do realize tuition hikes are going up by a lot. It's just, I guess I'm not directly affected. It's just it's such a big, broad vision that I guess another small reason would be that, I'm just one person, and if I did get a huge ass body of students, then it'd be easier for me to get involved.
Okay.
Getting students involved is always a hard thing. I don't really have any suggestions. The forum was a good one when they had it out on the quad, and just trying to get the word out there, trying to get everyone to come to one place, because I think that's when all you need is more people to get involved, and it'll start the ball rolling, I think. But that's your big problem, trying to get more people involved. So
okay.
Yeah, just keep putting the word out, and hopefully eventually people will get it.
Yeah.
Definitely, if I had more information, the time, and to get more information, definitely.
Okay, so do you
I play soccer, so I get a scholarship, so the fee hikes affect me, but they don't affect me as directly as they do most students, so I'm not so proactive to getting the fee hikes lowered, pretty much. So.
I guess it's the whole convenience factor, because I'm also involved in other, extracurriculars and schoolwork as well. So it's more of an issue for like me personally, like how disappointed or upset I am by the fee hikes. But for me, I'm not like so upset to the point that I'd want to try to change and try to start a movement. But I would want to get involved if it were convenient enough.
Let's see, I like how signing petitions, and let's see, also there's this, I remember there's one thing that's called change.org, and I was really interested in doing that. I signed up, and I don't know, it's like an online petition, but I don't know, I'm not sure if it really did anything,
I guess make it more personal in school administration for students to come in. I know I received an email saying the chancellor would be opening her office for students to be able to come in. I haven't seen another email after that or any other information. I haven't seen her walking on campus or anyone else in administration. So I guess if she would follow what she had said before, and they open up the administration doors for students to feel more free to come in, that would be good.
And I'm not personally familiar with any initiatives to get word out to the students about what actually is going on. I mean, that's more, research you'd have to do individually. And for me, that's a bit hard because I'm dealing with a lot of other things. So maybe if they could send out an email, let everyone know what's happening around campus, what's going on in the administration, then students will, have at least a start to beginning to make their own opinions.
I think the way the system is, I guess, created to have, we have chancellors, and then we have regents, and we have all these different people that you got to talk to. If I want to have, let's say, a meeting with the chancellor, I can't just go up to the chancellor's door and say, hey, we have 10 minutes. I'm going to be directed to someone who's going to direct me to someone else, that's going to give me an email, that's going to give me a phone number, that'll direct me back to another person, and maybe back to the first person that started. And then eventually I'll just say, you're on hold, or they're considering. So it's hard to work within the system and with the system's tools to try to change it.
Barriers that I like to look at are the barriers of having to keep up with the academic standards, having to do your homework regularly, not having to keep up with your reading, staying on top of that, having to work, just having to feed yourself. I mean, if you're not an undergrad paying for the DC food, you got to be pulling in food somewhere. And I think all the barriers of that are keeping a student very busy, and almost, I want to say there's like alternatives that are set for us for recreation to keep us even more busy. So I feel like we're so busy to even start to consider I want to get involved in a process that I might have no idea with, or just even a small minuscule feeling of my opinion is not going to be heard in this aspect. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to keep the hustle and bustle sticking to our face.
You think?
It's kind of tough because I wouldn't say that I put my opinion out there in the places where it would count. So I'm not involved in the way the university comes to decisions, and I think that's my choice. That's my choice not to be involved. I got a lot of other life going on. I work, I go to school, I volunteer, I do other things, and my views on the whole organization and institution is that I can break my back to try and get my opinion heard, and I still feel like it might be minuscule in that sense. Like there's just a lot more factors going on and how they come to a decision that my voice isn't really going to make that much of an impact.
I mean, I personally would like to think that it does matter. Maybe mine alone doesn't, but me within a group, within a movement, can make a difference. I don't think I'd be out here if I didn't believe that it didn't.
I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that in the sense that my opinion counts in the way that they come up to decision. I think that's why I'm out here, because I want to voice my opinion where I feel that somebody might even take it into consideration. And I feel like there's so many things that are far greater than myself within this university that play a more appealing role to whoever's making the decision.
And I personally feel that if I were to go and, let's say, try to talk to the chancellor face to face, there are a lot of obstacles in that I'd have to jump through. But I think by being here and making a presence, it shows that I'm willing to talk, and I'm willing to meet halfway if they like to come out and hear my opinion. But I think as far as obstacles go, there are plenty.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, you can come out here and just see the amount of people that are not here right now. You know, generally, I know there was a lot of talk that occupiers were predominantly male, white, middle class.
Bearded.
Bearded, so, yeah, with beards, which is why we actually just shave.
First of all,
but, and I think that keeps out a lot of different cultures and a lot of different classes that feel that, you know, they were underrepresented here, and I understand what they're coming through, and I understand what they mean by it. I'd like to see more diversity, absolutely, but I mean, do we keep ourselves from really being able to? I mean, do we create barriers within ourselves? Yeah, absolutely.
And by student participation, are you focusing within the university?
Yeah.
Okay, so not necessarily just outside activist participation.
No.
Okay. I want to say it's intimidating to go into a space that doesn't have people that look like you, especially coming from a background that isn't within your realm of consciousness. Like if I came from a poor neighborhood and had to rough my way through school to get to college, I'm in an environment that is entirely new to me. So I think it's very intimidating just on the basis of class and race and privilege and all these things.
So why?
I think there has to be a lot of individual motivation to get things done. And I think I was naive when I first came here, thinking that this space was comfortable and free and open to everybody. I'm realizing now that there is a lot of uncomfortable people that are here that you can see that they're not here anymore. Some people that felt that the space wasn't safe for them, whether it was because they weren't able to speak their minds or because they felt maybe they were being cut off or brushed aside. They moved on to different factions. But I think that, like I said before, having these talks and getting people to just talk about it, whether it's here in this space or it's with the chancellor or if it's just at home having a few beers with friends, having these kind of talks, that motivates people to want to do something eventually. And I think right now I'm struggling to try to find a place that I can say would be free for everyone to be here, to be comfortable, because I know not everyone is.
Yeah, I think it's everything that you explained and a lot more as to why students aren't actively voicing their opinions in these forums. I mean, there's certain, I mean, I don't know what the reasons are, but there's certain things that I can see that are showing that students are thinking a certain way, but they're not speaking out a certain way. One example that I can see is bathroom stalls. I go in there to use the restroom and I see bigotry, racist, you know, just like some really fucked up shit written all over these walls. And yet, there aren't people discussing these things in these forums. You know, you go on Facebook and it's a flood of people's opinions. And when you come to a space like this, people aren't talking to each other. You know, so I don't know why it is that some folks don't feel comfortable expressing their anger, or their frustrations, or their points in life on certain topics as this, but they're not, and I don't know why.
I mean, like I said earlier, participation goes as far down to just talking. You know, it can be anything from coming down here and sleeping in a tent, and if you can't sleep in a tent, come down to our rallies. If you can come down to the rallies, come down to the GAs, the forums, you know, talk on Facebook. If you can't do any of that, then just sit and talk with your friends about it. That does something. You know, people doesn't, you know, we can think that it doesn't, but I think it does. You're educating yourself. You know.
I think it's just an ongoing process. It's not going to be changed right now. Just asking for people's opinions more than giving your own opinion out. It's a lot.
Great. Well, that's it. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, man.